What is going on, everyone? It's Halloween, isn't it? I got my Halloween shirt on. My daughter's all excited. I've eaten some of her candy. I'm not going to tell her about it. But I've been meaning to make a video on this for a while. And if I just don't go ahead and do it, it's probably never going to get done. I was going to go pull the clip from this idiot Crowded booth had on. Palmer, Pumice Face, some dude that played that role in the Goonies however many years ago. That was talking about Georgia Tech moving its home game to Mercedes-Benz for $10 million or whatever to play Georgia next year. Now, I've addressed it on live shows. Do I like it? No, sucks. Also, your season tickets do not include that game. You got to go buy that ticket now, which is kind of messed up. I don't have to like it, though. I get why. Georgia Tech was one of the most indebted programs in the country. They're dying for money. They were still paying off renovations to Bobby Dodd that were done in the mid-90s. That's no lie. Their interest payment per year alone was like $20 million per their own financial statements. All right? So I don't have to like it, but you cannot turn down money when it presents itself to you, right? Now, Bryce has some idiot on that's, Georgia. I guess he gets out from under Kirby's desk and wipes his mouth off and then just espouses, he doesn't even sound like a reporter. He sounds like me. Sounds like a fan talking about the game. He should quit what he's doing. But he basically gets on, Georgia Tech's a bunch of losers for doing this. They're a bunch of sellouts, yada, yada. Well, what does that make Georgia now, dude? They're doing renovations to the stadium they play in Jacksonville, which he brought up because he knows his stance is hypocritical, right? Georgia, according to Georgia fans, can do no wrong. Everything they do, smart, high brain. But then, so he brings up that, there's tradition for that. Well, now they're doing renovations to the stadium. They have the ability now to do a home and home, which the fans of both teams, Florida and Georgia, want, but they choose to do one in Tampa. Where are they doing the other one? In Atlanta. The exact same venue that this moron was bitching at Tech about. Now listen, I didn't even go back. I'm probably not even saying this guy's name right. It doesn't matter what his name is. What matters is, do you see this mullet? Do I look like I'm effing around today, Palmer? Or settled Play-Doh face, whatever your name is? No. So it's a major hypocrisy. Now they're doing the exact same thing when they don't have to. They didn't have to agree to that deal. They're doing it for money. So what you need to do, Palmer or Pumice or whatever your name is, you need to get back on Crowded booth, and from your filthy sewer, you need to extend Rec Talk and Georgia Tech an apology for being a big fat hypocrite and a sycophant as opposed to a reporter. If you want to be a sycophant, now you're you report for Georgia, so you don't know what that word means. You can go look that up. I'm not here to teach you what words mean. But you need to get back on Crowded booth and say, yep, I was wrong. Beg Bryce to let you back on. And also, shame on Bryce for even allowing that. Damn, dude. He tried his measly, Georgia Tech does need money. What? And Georgia Tech does need money. What is Georgia's excuse for doing this? What's Florida's excuse for doing this? Georgia's got to be one of the most profitable teams in the country with Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, all these teams. They don't need that money. They could have vetoed that if they wanted to. It takes two to tango, right? That's what they told me in sex ed, at least. But they didn't. Why? There's one. First of all, Georgia Tech, I know it's going to pain people to say this. It was ahead of the curve on this. Again, I don't like it. I don't necessarily agree with it. I get why. do not be surprised if Michigan, Ohio State play on a neutral site to take money. You know, do not be surprised if Alabama, Auburn does it. Because now NIL rules the day. We're in the market has exploded in NIL. You have kids accepting offers as placeholders to use to negotiate with other teams and then go demand more money. It's all about money. Recruiting now, people have asked, will ask me about Tech with this. Like, because Tech has been sucking lately. Let's just call it what it is. Is that going to affect recruiting? Yeah, on some level, but at the end of the day, signing a recruit is about how much money. So when you're talking about 4-star recruits, 3 and 4-star recruits, and 5 is with 5, it's exclusively money, but it's money. It's who can pay them the most, and that's really all that matters. So now teams have to go do whatever they can to get just the biggest pile of money they can to throw it at 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. And I don't blame the kids. A lot of people look at this and say, man, these kids, they're morally bankrupt, and they're not doing anything that any business doesn't do, or whoever. Like, if you're at your job and you can go demand more money, and if they don't agree to it, you can go make 5 times as much, you're going to do that. These kids are navigating the landscape in which they exist. What I do believe, because it's all ruled by the almighty dollar now, and that trumps everything, including like what is in the long-term best interest of that kid, those teams, and the sport. We're headed for a crash in this market. There's going to be a major correction at some point. This isn't sustainable. Going to TV contracts or just going to NIL, and there's no rules for it. This is going to implode spectacularly at some point, and there's going to be a major, major correction. So now we have two games that have been moved. One, the Georgia clean old-fashioned hate. Georgia Tech has sold their home game to Mercedes-Benz for $10 million. Georgia, Florida are playing in Tampa and Atlanta. And this isn't the last you're going to see of this. This is the start of a trend. We see it with everything. People opting out of bowls. That's a normal thing now. People opting out of the season, just saying, hey, I'm going to redshirt. I'm done for the year. And this will be the next trend. You will see teams playing, 4 home games or whatever now. So let me know what you guys think. We'll be waiting for that pumice stone apology from that Georgia reporter. Y'all have a good one.